It is the end of September and the temperatures are getting a lot cooler here in New York City, and the garden is looking a lot different as well. I have already took out all the tomato plants, or most of the tomato plants. Definitely getting a little bit too cold for them, and I did have some time to plant some brassicas in here that I'm going to show you guys. So usually I do weekly garden tours, but these past couple months have been very busy, so I did not do one for September. This one's going to be the whole September garden tour. We're going to start here at the plot garden today. This is a little overview of how everything's looking right now. It's a little bit different than last time. I did a lot of cleanup and planted a few other things too, as you can see here. There's some brassicas on this side, some broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, and I even have a little long tomato plant in here that had this tomato and I wanted to ripen, so let's go ahead and harvest this right now so I can take out the tomato plant too. It's looking pretty good. I have some more in the backyard that I have to harvest too. On this side here we have this huge sweet potato vine getting everywhere, and also I threw a bunch of little mustard seeds in here to kind of try to do sort of a cover crop situation. I have this basil here that's looking really good too. I might take some home today for flower arrangements, looking so pretty. And I have some other purple cabbages that I put here. Those are like a purple Napa cabbage that I got from Johnny Seeds. Let's see how they're gonna do. I have this little thing here to cover to try to minimize the squirrels or birds going there and picking into things. Huge amaranth here, it's time for it to come out. And there's some peppers on this side looking pretty good. They have lots of jalapenos in there. They're producing quite well. I have harvested a lot already and it feels like there's a lot more. I gotta come around and harvest after filming this video for sure. There's lots of other peppers in here too. These Habanata Peppers are all mature, as I can see now. I gotta come and harvest them too. They've been producing well as well, but they're kind of growing very low to the ground. They have some dirt on them, so I'll make sure I gotta wash them well. And then these Habanata Peppers are kind of turning. I have some more on this side too. They are purple in here, and there's some turning red, but for this, I'm probably going to just dry them to make chili flakes. I have a lot of pickled peppers at home already. And that's it. This little bed looks pretty good, even with the cooling temperatures. The eggplants here too, they have been doing better than they did in the summer. I think it's they are kind of covered by the borage, but now you see this, they're producing kind of good, but the squirrels seem to be getting the ones close to the ground before me, so it's okay. I've got a few harvests and it's good. I'm happy about it, and this one looks pretty good still, so probably gonna be able to harvest those in a couple days if they don't come and get them before me. And some of the okra is budding in here too, but I think it's too late for them. The kale is looking really good. The dahlias are looking good too. But with the cooler temperatures, we're having this powdery mildew everywhere. The squash is really struggling with it. I'm actually planning on removing this whole vine today, so this powdery mildew doesn't spread everywhere. We harvested a lot from this vine already, and there's some even more big squash over here, all kind of eaten by the squirrels, which is okay. I was trying to leave those here to see if they would turn color, but I think it's too late. The vine is getting a little bit too damaged, but we'll see. On this other side here, the tomatillos are kind of having a little bit of a hard time. They're mostly dying and they're dropping a lot of the fruit. I gotta come and pick all of those up and see what I can do. There's some powdery mildew on these dahlias here too, but I really don't want to cut them out because I want to save the tubers. This will be mostly it here for this side. Now that we took a look at everything, I'm gonna go ahead and take out that squash vine that's full of powdery mildew. So I'm just gonna do a quick time lapse in here and get to it. Big pile over here is what I have left, what I had taken out. Then we have that second arch looking pretty good. And I think I'm just going to stop right now because there's a big truck that's parking here to do some construction. Now we're going to go to our backyard and see how things are looking there as well. I just got home and I decided to actually get some flowers from the garden to put it over here. And this is the long tomato we just harvested. It is about to start raining, so I'm going to do it really quick and show everyone how things are looking over here. The green stalk is doing good here. I had a chance to plant a few purple bok choys. If you've been watching the channel, you've seen how well they did here in the spring. And over here there's still a few peppers. Those here are the Puma peppers. They're full of new peppers. This is going to be like the third flush of it, which is really good. Even though it's been cooling down, the temperatures are still doing well. I have some beans climbing over here and over there. They're getting all the way to this light here and finally starting to flower. Some of the other beans here are producing. Those are the Noodle Beans. I think I have a video planting this a few months ago, and they are all producing quite well. Some more over here on the top. I'm gonna go ahead and harvest this one today because it's getting a little bit too big. And down here we have the green stalks. This pink one is looking really good. You see all that beautiful new growth there? This is all purple kohlrabi. I had taken out the old stuff that was in there, planted those in, and they're looking so big. They're growing a lot faster than the other seedlings that I have it here. It started here, and the ones in the plot garden as well. So the other green stalk is still gotta clean out. There's a bunch of big things in here still, and I'm gonna try to work on that this month and try to plant some of these things there if possible. There's a bunch of herbs in here on this side, and some of the basil seeds, fell into this pot and they are germinating here in one calendula, so I'm just gonna let that be and see how long they will grow before it gets too cold. On this side, look at this okra. It's huge and it's already starting to flower, so that's one bud there. And I believe that I had another one that I missed out, and this is just a little baby okra coming. This is the motherland okra from Baker Creek. It's really, really big. If you see it, compared to everything else, is the tallest thing that I have there. I still have some cucumbers here, believe it or not. I just saw that yesterday. Yeah, so there's this guy here that I've missed. And there's this other one here that's starting to grow. I wonder if it will get into a nice shape or not, but I'm gonna harvest those guys a little later. And here the zinnias are kind of coming back. They're not just doubled anymore, but it's still blooming, which is nice. So we still have some color on this side. Ginger here, check this out. It's looking pretty good. Looks like we're gonna have some ginger. Look at that. I'm gonna try to harvest this probably this week too, because these leaves are already starting getting some yellow. So speaking of yellow leaves, I have these sweet potatoes here that also look kind of all damaged, the ones in the buckets. So we'll see how they will do in the next few weeks too. And mostly it's for this side. Over here I have this kale that's massive. It's been growing here since the spring. If you've been following us, you have been watching this guy grow. It's been so big now that it's like these leaves are bigger than my head. It's crazy. It already rained a little bit, so they're all white, but it's gonna get some more rain soon. Then we have this dino kale here that's also full. I'm gonna harvest a little more. The zinnias here are blooming again despite the cold, so they're looking very nice and bright. And we have tons of growth here. Everything is looking very lush green with the cooler temperatures and more rain, which is very nice to see. But this cucamelon, there was a volunteer from my neighbor's plant from last year, the person who used to live in this apartment and had this unit, previous tenant, and it's kind of taking over everywhere. I think there are some cucamelons in there. Oh yeah, they're already forming. So we're gonna probably harvest some soon too. This pepper here is getting kind of strangled by it and by this squash that I decided to plant last minute. I probably planted this maybe in July. And this is a tromboncino kind. I think it's a zucchino rampicante, this one. And I don't know if it's gonna produce or not, but it's looking nice so far in the garden. The peppers here on the side are still producing too. They're still growing, which is nice. This bikini pepper has been giving us lots of peppers. There's some nice eggplant in here. Check this out. This fairy tale eggplant is still producing, even though it's kind of all covered by everything else. I just saw this yesterday and I left it on so I could show in the tour. But how cool is that? We have all these 4 eggplants to eat together with the cucumber and some tomatoes too, because I still have lots of tomatoes growing at this time. Some really big ones are still green. Check that one out. And some, they are just ripening back there. So I have a bunch of red ones in the back. They're hard to harvest, so I've been missing out them. They're ready, so I gotta take these out before the rain, probably after I film this tour.
But that's pretty cool. And up here on this tree, they have just been taking over, and there's a bunch of little tomatoes back there too that I'm not sure if it's gonna ripen or not. But if not, I'll pick before the frost and we can make like a green tomato pickle or salsa or something. But that's mostly it here for the backyard. I think it's looking really good. I was very happy the way this is looking by the end of September and almost October. This is the last week of September here, but it's so nice and lush green. Super, super pretty. I'm very happy.